All right, Jason Rona here. We're at the 2024 Hoosier RC, the Clash of Champions. We're here with Spencer Rivkin, doing some vehicle debuts here this weekend. Spencer, you got the RC10 B7 here in front of us. We talked a little bit earlier about, maybe just kind of going over a few JConcepts things that we're doing here already with the new car, some things you might see in the future coming from us. And, we're going to kind of ask, hey, what would you like to see for this buggy? We have different bodies that we've used in the past. We've been talking to Spencer a little bit about that. So, Spencer, new car, B7. Talk to us about, first of all, going, putting this thing together and then kind of picking and choosing what of the JConcepts items you've been able to put on here so far.
Yeah, obviously, it's a pretty exciting weekend for everyone, especially in the Team Associated pits. The B7's been basically a 3-year project for us. I personally have known about it for about a year and a half. And now, in 2024, we're out here running it, debuting it at the Clash of Champions. So far this weekend, everything's been going pretty well. I think that there's still a lot of optimizations still to progress with the car setup. Obviously, with the new platforms, significantly different than anything that we've ever had from Team Associated. So, ground out platform, which means new arms, new bulkheads, new diff cases, new everything. So, with that said, there's obviously new bodies and stuff that we're going to have to be made. And this weekend, I was able to outfit my Team Associated B7 with as much of the JConcepts stuff that we have available now, which is the JConcepts fin turnbuckles and the JConcepts. I chose the black screws, which is how I have the car outfitted so far. Obviously, with the JConcepts 7-inch traditional wing that we typically run at all the races is basically a no-brainer for us. I opt out of not running a front wing so far this weekend, but obviously it's something that the original wing that we have and offer will still fit. Of course, with the body, this is the kit body that we're running this weekend. In the near future, I would imagine we're going to have our new bodies available. I'm hoping that we come out with the P2 first, but there's been a lot of talk online about kind of what's the next popular item. So I think for the most part we're going to have our main 3 or 4 with the P2, the F2, S15, and the S2.
Yeah, I mean, you've gone through a bunch of these over the years. I mean, you've debuted a few of them for us on the associated platforms, like the B6 that we have here in front of me. You debuted a couple bodies on there. We went through the finisher line, which we're going into the F2, the silencer line, which is, the S2. We got the Punisher line, which is the P2. We had a P2K. And then we have the S15, which is kind of a carryover from our 8-scale line, which went from silencer 1, we call it, between silencer 2. So that's where the S15 comes from. But Spencer, you've kind of ran them all here over a course of time. I'd say, you probably spent more time, I would say, overall running the F2 body. But you've had a lot of success with the P2, especially at the Worlds. You won that one in Slovakia. Then you ran it again, at the Worlds of Hobby Action. So P2's kind of got some Worlds credibility going for it, but the F2 is really that fallback. You see people kind of sampling some of the elements from that body over time. Now it's my personal favorite. Didn't start off that way when we debuted it in 2011, back with the B4. It didn't start off as my favorite, but it's kind of transitioned, into my favorite. But Spencer, talk about, we got a new chassis here, and every time we got to kind of start over, and we got to start over, and we got to lay this thing out, and talk to us about getting a new body onto the chassis shape, and kind of what you see is going to happen here to get that to blend into the new vehicle.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, the guys from you guys watching, it's a little bit definitely easier said than done when it comes to making the bodies. Obviously, Jason and Paul are the experts when it comes to that, but with kind of the chassis underneath here, you can see like the lines of the chassis are a lot narrower in the front, and there's some complications that come into effect when you're tuning with the height and how the top deck comes into effect with the clearance. And with that seems to be probably the biggest thing when you guys were making the new body for the B6.3, because there was a significant chassis top deck change. With this, obviously, there's going to be some chassis clearance issues since the motor is more forward. You're able to kind of make the body a little bit more enclosed in the back because you don't really have the motor blocking anything. But at the same time, I think it's going to open up a lot more ideas, maybe down the road if we ever design a completely new body, especially since you have the room and the availability to do some stuff in the back. Nowadays, it seems like arrows. Not that it's never been important, but it seems like everyone brings 2 or 3 bodies with them to the races. They bring the 6-inch or the 7-inch, or 6.5 to 7-inch wing with them, and obviously the choice of running a front wing. So I think for the most part, once we get our bodies, it's going to be something that we're going to probably settle into what we're comfortable with, but then kind of keep on evaluating and pushing the limits to find that extra edge.
And then the other thing, obviously we've had the Finn titanium turnbuckles for quite some time. Recently, last year we did the upgrade to the 3.5 diameter size, and Spencer, you're able to put those pretty much right off your other car onto this car. We're going to offer a set specifically for the 7 series, and obviously the screw sets, and we have the individual screws. So you got a lot of individual screws from us. You outfitted the car. We'll have a set just for the vehicle, but you can pick by length if you really want. You can kind of incorporate what you want to use, whether you want to go for the straight top or you want to go for some bottom screws. But talk to us about putting sort of the assortment of black screws on this thing.
Yeah, I mean, over the years I've kind of done blue. I kind of wanted to just do a simple black. I think it kind of a little bit lower profile look, a little darker mentality, I guess you could say. Not really anything specifically of why I chose a black. It's just something different. That's why we have the options, the blue and black, which is nice. It's pretty cool. I honestly, all the different accessories that we have, personalizing these vehicles nowadays has been probably the biggest cool factor in the hobby. And we have that for you and available for you guys to do that with, whether it's the different turnbuckle colors and screw colors, to the different kind of body options that we're going to have for the new cars or your old previous cars, and then with the different kind of accessories you can do with the wing and the front wing. And obviously we'll have the wing buttons and the wheel nuts and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, that's something, we've been kind of doing for quite a while now. I mean, it's going back into the 2010 range. And even before, but we've had a lot of aluminum parts over the years. We've had a lot of carbon fiber options. We've made the towers, the suspension mounts, the bulkheads, carbon fiber battery hold downs. But what do you kind of see from your perspective looking at these cars of something that maybe that we could incorporate some of our style and JConcepts flair into some real steady accessories, and maybe you think something that maybe the customers and drivers out there might like to see for this car.
Yeah, I mean, I think with this particular vehicle, I think there's a whole new book of items that can be designed and developed with the car. Obviously, you can do the standard making some shock towers, but I kind of want to go a little bit deeper into that. I kind of want to go maybe doing some new tuning hub tower plate options, something that we're limited at the moment for that with the car, but I think we can kind of do some cool things with the hub tower plates, the servo mount with the car, which we've had in the past. I think we can kind of make some cool carbon or aluminum battery strap holders, which would probably be a no-brainer. And then, of course, with the pretty sweet, slick, low-profile motor mount, I think would be a pretty nice addition. I think over time will tell of what we want and what the limitations we currently have, and kind of explore what we can make to improve the car's performance or looks, and that's kind of what we do.
All right, well, thanks, Spencer. Look for those obviously the new bodies. Obviously we'd like to get that kind of that heritage line out there, the F2, S2, P2, but also we're kind of looking for some input from you guys. If you see something that you'd really wish you had for this vehicle, whether it's the aluminum and carbon that Spencer talked about, maybe something that we've never thought of, go ahead, leave us a comment, let us know. And obviously we look forward to getting this car out there. I look forward to personally getting one, maybe getting the stamp of approval here from Spencer, getting the race paint job on there, and at least having a nice display piece. So thanks again. and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, thanks.